Good evening, Val community. It's David Michael. It's unlike most of my videos that are filmed way early in the morning. This is quite late at night. So, cheers. The reason why it's so late at night and I have to be quiet a bit is my wife and son are quite sick at the moment. So they're upstairs sleeping, so I have to. So it's only my son and wife here now. My daughter, quick music-related story really quickly, is my daughter, she's 19. She recently moved to London, England. I think it was her dream to move there. So she graduated school with honors, and she took a year off and saved up and worked her ass off and moved to London, England. And quickly after she got there, we communicate through Snapchat, which is a really pain in the ass to use. I got a Snapchat, her telling me that she got a job, which I was very happy and proud of. And she was working on a documentary. She was working with a film crew on a documentary about a well-known band. And she told me the band, and it was like, okay, it kind of seemed so surreal that, because it's one of my favorite bands when I was young. And okay, I'm like, okay. I believed her, but it was one of those things that's it's very surreal. But she just arrived in England and she's working on a film crew filming a documentary of this band. She knows full well this was one of my favorite bands. And so I kind of just put it in the back of my mind, and then one morning I get a Snapchat video of her on a street corner dancing with the lead singer of this band, doing a little shuffle together, and my jaw dropped. And so yeah, it's true. She got a job shortly after arriving in England, working on a film crew filming a documentary on the band Madness. And the person she was dancing with was the lead singer, Suggs. So yeah, so if my daughter's watching this, hello. And you're living up my dreams in England at the moment. So yeah, so that was a quick little story, or a long way around to tell you that this is quite late at night. My family is sick and I'm up late and I'm filming a video. So my last video, I think I had said, like I always say in my videos, it seems like that it's my last video of the year, and yeah, and then lo and behold, I answer an online ad about records for sale. And this ad sat there, and it was the week before Christmas, and I guess no one was responding, and then I just did. And she said, yeah, come over. And then I forgot as Christmas got closer, and she sent me an email saying, hey, are you still coming over? I'm like, oh, I hate being one of those guys who responds to ads and you know, you don't follow through, because God knows when I sell stuff online and people don't show up, I get quite pissed off. So I said, yeah, I'm coming over. My wife drove me over a couple nights ago. And it was just the most bizarre, I'm going to guess it's probably one of my most bizarre instances of answering an online ad. Really, old house. The woman was this older woman, and she said, yeah, come in the basement. And in the basement there was a lot of boxes of records. And I guess I'll be quick telling the story here. I'll try to be quick anyways. Is that I guess she's a landlady, and the things she had for sale online were things that previous tenants had left behind. So she said, yeah, these boxes were left behind of records. I don't know what they're worth. I'm trusting you to look through and look through them. So I did. And, you know, there was a lot of country music, like we all kind of find that really, you know, not my thing. Some of it was, some of it wasn't. Some of the stuff that was my thing, like old Johnny Cash albums, like original pressings, they were in really bad condition. And then I kind of, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. There's nothing really here. She goes, okay, well, come in this room. And she goes, I know the guy who took care of these records. So I'm guessing he skipped out on his rent or something. And So yeah, so I go in this room and then there's all these boxes of records and they were all really immaculate records. I can tell you that right now. So that makes up most of this haul that I'm going to show you. But before I show you those ones, because they're in order wrong now, so I told the story before I got to those records like an idiot. So anyways, I'll get to those right away. But what I got, firstly, is Salvation Army. I posted some of these on the YouTube vinyl community. I'm on Facebook, so if you've seen these already, fast forward. Or just watch, I don't know. Yeah, so I got a Salvation Army, David Bowie Lodger. And the odd thing about this one is this is the only David Bowie I kind of needed, because through some way my existing copy developed a lip warp. You know, the warps at the very beginning of a record, which they can't be fixed. Even if I have a friend who has one of those vinyl flats, and they don't work on lip presses, lip warps, sorry. So if you have a lip warp on a vinyl, I'm kind of counting it as garbage at this point. So I needed a new copy of Lodger, and I got one at Salvation Army. The other two aren't quite as remarkable, but one, I'll show you this one. This one's a blind buy. It's Mark Allman, or John Mark and Johnny Allman. Other People's Rooms, Still in the Shrink. This was a blind buy. It was $1. I knew the name. I took a chance on it. I couldn't even tell you what kind of music it is. I initially thought it was some kind of prog thing, but I briefly looked online, and it seems maybe it's jazzy kind of stuff. I don't know. But anyways, that was a blind buy. Mark Allman, Other People's Rooms. And if you're Canadian, you might know this name, Stan Rogers. And this is probably his most well-known album in Canada, Fogarty's Cove. An album when I was still in music retail, we would still sell tons of copies of this album. So yeah, Stan Rogers. Stan Rogers is kind of like, he's from the Maritimes in Canada. I hate to kind of categorize him, but it's kind of folk, traditional kind of stuff. Very well known in Canada, very well regarded artist in Canada. So there you go. Okay, so I'm gonna get on to this. Now that I told the story of where I got the haul from, and then I put things out of order, I'm gonna get to that stuff now. So, okay. So, and at the end, there's I'm gonna save the kind of the best story from that basement find I had to the very last, because it's quite a bizarre story. So anyways, I found a copy of James Brown. Yeah, a few nice things. There's 1,000 titles on this one. Thinking About Little Willie John and a Few Nice Things. It's an original King Records pressing. I am embarrassed to say I don't really own a lot of James Brown records. So when I was pulling records and we decided on a price, and by the way, the price that I got for all these records, I'll tell you at the end, because it's quite astonishing, to be honest with you. I think she was really happy that I was giving her the lowdown on her records. There's a lot of records I could have just bought to flip, and I separated the crap from the good stuff for her, and I said, this is your stuff that's worth X amount, and this is the stuff that you might as well give away or put a dollar list together for people. So and in the end, she ended up giving me a really good deal. So this was the first one I'm going to show you, James Brown. It was a really weird assortment of records. I'm looking through the records and I'm kind of thinking this guy is a certain age, you know, or you can see by the records that I'm going to show you that, you know, you think this guy might be a little older, but then he had some really kind of cool hip records, like Talking Heads, Stop Making Sense. Yeah. So, probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, music documentary or video or kind of theatrical concert of all time. Stop Making Sense. I haven't cleaned this album cover yet, so on video it might look a bit a bit beaten, but the record's really nice. It's an original Canadian London Records pressing of John Mayall and the Blues Breakers, featuring Eric Clapton. So once I give this album a good cleaning, the cover itself, the vinyl's nice. It'll be a nice addition to my collection. And I didn't, actually I think I have had this one before, and I think I might have traded it, so. Like a lot of records that I show you, they're rebuying, horrible regrets of trading and selling. Such is the life of a vinyl collector, I guess. Okay, a couple Rolling Stone albums. Super nice condition copy of Hot Rocks, double album. How about I show it to you nicely? It's a London Records pressing. I think it's a later one because the polygram logo is on it, but who gives a crap when I play it? I won't notice the difference anyways, right? So a nice copy of Hot Rocks. Sticky Fingers with the zipper. So there's the zipper there. And usually with these pressings, you might know, it's very rare to find a nice condition copy where the zipper hasn't indented into the vinyl from compression of other people's records, your own records, compressing against it, and the zipper pushes into the vinyl. So quite often what you'll find is this album, and you have to look at the vinyl, and sometimes there'll be little indentations where the vinyl sits inside, and this one doesn't have one. So this is why I bought this one. An album I already own, but I'm going to kind of mix and match because I have a pressing of this already, but the vinyl's nicer on this one, and the cover is nicer on my other one. But it's an original gold label pressing of The Doors' Morrison Hotel. This one has a label on it, which I can get off pretty easily, but I'll mix and match them and I'll come up with a really nice condition copy of Morrison Hotel. Like I said, on the original gold Electra label. A really super nice condition copy of Who's Next. This is a reissue on MCA Records. I have an original Decca pressing. I think it's Canadian Decca. So, anyways, regardless, it's seen its day. It plays, but it's seen its day, like I said. So it needed replacing. So, really nice upgrade of this one. Nazareth, Hair of the Dog. Now, Nazareth in Canada, at least in my part of the world, in Western Canada anyways, their records don't command a lot of money because Nazareth was so big in Western Canada, maybe Eastern Canada as well, but there's a misconception with a lot of people that Nazareth are Canadian because they were so huge here, but obviously we know they're Scottish. So I'm amazed when I go on eBay or Discogs how much their albums sell for. But in Canada, you can, at least like I said, in Western Canada, you can get their albums for $5 to $10 pretty consistently because there's so many of them around. But this is one I didn't have. It's a really nice condition copy of Hair of the Dog, which I found in that basement. And I have to apologize to my wife because I'm sure she watches my videos. I told her to drive me over to this house, and I'm just going in to grab this one record that she had told me she had. And it ended up being about 10-15 minutes. So one too many times I've left my wife out in the car, in the freezing cold in my car, kind of keeping the car warm, waiting for me. So yeah, sorry honey, I'm an idiot. So anyway, she was nice and she was pleasant about it. So yeah. Here's another copy of Rumors. And I think my last video or the video before that, I had another copy of Rumors, and I pick these up whenever I can find them because now I've gotten to the point where I always know people who need them. So if I find a duplicate pressing I have, I always have one for someone. But now I've stumbled across so many copies of Rumors that I'm now collecting them if they're variants of catalog numbers. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to show you. This is my collection so far. This is the box set that came out. It's a CD, vinyl, DVD box set. This is the double 45 RPM pressing that came out for Record Store Day. And now I think it's available commercially now, but this is probably the best pressing I own for sound quality. You can find the double 45 RPM pressing of this, and if you're a fan of this album, I suggest please pay the extra money and find it and get it, because the difference is remarkable. This is a seal, or in the shrink second pressing, and I'm sure you don't really give a crap, but these are all the variants. 1, 2, 3, 4 different variants of that one. So I think I'm up to, what, 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know, maybe 8 different variants of Rumors. And I didn't set out to collect Rumors. I just keep on finding different pressings and I collect them now, because why not? So, yeah. So that was part of that haul. And I swear to God, if my wife is watching this, she's rolling her eyes, I'm going to hear about this in the morning. So, sorry, once again. Okay, so I'm going to get to the story now. This is the last thing I'm going to show you. So, in that other room the lady took me to, with the boxes of really good records, this was the album that she told me she had that I originally went over for. And I was absolutely stunned to go in to find, she goes, oh, I have a few copies of that album. I'm like, okay, that's odd, but she didn't have a few copies. She had a stack of unplayed original Russian pressings of Paul McCartney, the Russian album. So I'm guessing, obviously the guy moved out, and she didn't know why he had them, obviously. She's just cleaning up the goods he left behind and reselling them to make some of her money back. I'm guessing that if you guys are old enough to remember when this album came out, there was quite a scramble to get a copy, because originally it was only going to come out in Russia. So it's a McCartney album only coming out in Russia. So there was kind of a mad rush to find copies of it, if you remember that. At least I remember that. And obviously, eventually it came out here in North America. So I'm guessing this guy he had some kind of connection in Russia or something. He went over there, I don't know. So maybe he bought up a whole whack load of them and brought them back with the purpose of reselling them. And maybe he waited too long for the value to go up, I don't know. And then it came out domestically, and then he stuck with it. So I got 2 of them. And I'm going to guess she had 25 to 30 unplayed copies, and they are unplayed. And I did my due diligence while I was there. I went onto Discogs and I checked matrix numbers and to make sure they were legit copies, and they are. Not that it's terribly valuable, but I just thought that was the most bizarre thing. Just a stack of unplayed copies of this album. So, all the records I showed you from that one basement, I think, like I said, I think she was so happy that I kind of helped her out, separating the crap from the good stuff, not trying to take advantage of her. In fact, after the fact, I sent her an email with a link to Discogs and showing her how to use it and how to probably grade and price her stuff properly when she eventually wants to make a list and put it out there online. I think she was so kind of happy that I didn't try to rip her off, that she gave me a good price. So all of this was 20 bucks. Yeah, so that was my haul from that online ad. So I guess it goes to show you never know what you're going to get when you answer an online ad, I guess. So, I mean, I've answered tons of those ads, and a lot of times they're just crap, and everyone's beat you to it, and you're picking up the scraps. And in this case, maybe because it was close to Christmas, no one really had the money, or no one, and it's really horrible outside here where I live, and maybe no one wanted to make the drive over, I don't know. But me and my wife did, and it really paid off, as you can see. So, yeah, I think I rambled a lot in this video, didn't I? It's late at night, so I have time to kill. I'm going to be up for a while. So, anyways, yeah, so that was what I got. It's a couple days before New Year's Eve. I do suspect this will be my last video, unless some miracle happens and I have some kind of mega haul the next couple days. And every time I say that, I end up having one. So I hope I'm bringing myself good luck by saying that. So if you're watching my video, thank you. I think if I do another video, I may do a quick 1-minute video with shout outs to everyone who's been really supportive of me and my channel, and leaving nice comments. So yeah, there you go. So thanks for watching, everyone. This is a very odd late night video for you. And although you could be watching this at any time during the day, and the fact that it's late night is totally irrelevant. So this is David Michael from the vinyl community. Cheers, everyone, and take care and have a great what's left of 2016. We'll see you in 2017.